Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their day. That's right, folks. Today's another beautiful day, and we've got another beautiful unboxing. And this is an unboxing that I have been eagerly awaiting for quite some time. In fact, it's been making its way towards me at a snail's pace since August 5th. And actually, the reason it's been so delayed is because it was sent with registered mail. Now, if anybody has ever sent or received anything with registered mail, they know that it's a highly secured way of sending things, and so it does take quite a while, as it's quite a manual process. So I'm glad it finally got its way to me, and this is a package that I'm eagerly awaiting because it's actually part of a collection that I'm buying out from a longtime collector of USVI Ingot Company pieces, and that collector is Larry Large Stacks. It's a collector that I have really looked up to for quite a while. I am very impressed by his vast collection of USVI Ingot Company. I've learned quite a bit by watching his YouTube videos. Now, he hasn't uploaded things in quite a while, but he has been parting with quite a bit of his stack, and so I thought, let me get some of these pieces so that we can see them in front of us. And there's quite a few pieces in here that I've actually never seen in person, so that's what makes this a very, very exciting unboxing, not just for all of you, but definitely for me as well, because it's going to be pieces that, I'm aware of, but I've never actually physically seen in the flesh. So let's go ahead and carefully crack open into this and see what kind of items that we've been able to purchase from this beautiful collection. Now, these are extremely special bars, as you know. People who collect the USVI ingot pieces, especially these poured rounds that some of you may be aware of, those sell at quite hefty premiums, and some of the poured bars also are quite up there. Even the common stackers, the common 1981 USVI company stackers, those also typically go for around double spot right now. I'm hard pressed to find those common 1981 stackers even for under $40. It's quite difficult, honestly, to find them at that price. So with that said, rare, common, all the USVI Ingot Company pieces, I would say, are quite collectible. Now, the pieces that I was able to manage to grab, at least in this first lot, are very, very special because a lot of these are things that I've never seen personally. So let's go ahead and take a close look at these and see what we got here. Now, we've got some larger chunkers here, and then we've got some flatter bars, and we've got some smaller packages here. So let's go ahead and open one of these small packages and see what we've got here. Now, everything here is going to be quite special because I made sure that the first lot of items that I got would be very special. So let's go ahead and see what's in these first ones. These tend to look like 1 ounce stackers if we look at them through the plastic. And so let's see what's special about these 1 ounce stackers. As you may or may not know, there's quite a few different stackers. You got your 1981 AM logo, you got your Anaheim Precious Metals, you got your A-Mark Oval logos, which were produced in 1980. There's quite a few out there. So let's go ahead and see what kind of bars we've got here. And it looks like these are some Anaheim Metal Company bars. And what's actually extremely interesting about this is that these are Anaheim Metal Company bars with a double asterisk on the back. Now, people who are kind of quite into the USVI Ingot Company bars, they know that, hey, on the AM logo bars at least, meaning these ones right here, these ones typically don't have a double asterisk on the back, but if you do find one with the double asterisk on the back, it's believed that there's only about 1,000 of those that exist, and so they're very, very difficult to find with the double asterisk on the back. However, with the Anaheim Metal Company, I never knew that there was actually an existing double asterisk version of this, and so I was able to grab 2 double asterisk Anaheim Metal Company bars, and the lot number here is A154S, which is consistent with the double asterisk bars on the AM logo stackers as well. So that's a very interesting to note. For whatever reason, USVI Ingot Company, when they were making lot A154S, they decided we're going to put double asterisk on it, and that's the only lot number where that happens, and is consistent on the AM logo stackers as well as the Anaheim Metal Company stackers. And so this is a very, very special thing that I was able to pick up. special things I was able to pick up, because this is something I've never seen before. I've never ever seen these before. I didn't even know such a thing exists. So I feel very, very blessed to be able to not just grab one of these, but two of these. So this is a very, very extremely exciting thing for me, and possibly for any other people who are really into the USVI Ingot Company stackers. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we have in here. This is another very exciting one for me. These on face value, they just look like some normal bars here, but actually I've never in my life seen this flat variation. This is actually going to be what is known as the USVI 1. So there's very many different variations of the USVI Ingot Company stackers. You know, you got some flat bars, you got some thicker, chunkier bars. You know, you got some with the Anaheim Metal Company logo. You got very many different obverses, okay, on these different bars. See Ryan and Associates. However, this is one that I've never in my life seen. This is the very first variation, and it's a very different bar compared to the others. And it's doesn't have any girth. This is just a normal looking bar, actually. And so this is the only kind of normal looking bar that USVI Ingot Company made. And in fact, it was the very first bar that they made. And so, I mean, this kind of is almost reminds me of an Engelhard or JM bar here on the back. But these bars, I mean, apparently they've always been pretty difficult to find, but I've never in a few years of collecting USVI Ingot Company products, I've never seen these available for sale. Forget about, oh, it was available for sale and it sold for a ridiculous amount of money. No, I've never even seen them available for sale, period. So that's crazy. That's crazy, the scarcity of something like this. And I'm so blessed because I was able to get duplicates of this. So it's really, really nice. Now, that's something that I could probably, in the near future, get onto the website as well. So a very, very special flat bar. This is the USVI 1 silver bar here. So I'm very excited to be able to grab that one as well. It's a new pickup for me. I've never actually held that in my hand. Never held this in my hand either, actually. So let's keep making our way through here. It looks like we've got a chunky bar here. We've got another chunky bar here. Got another chunky bar here. Got another possibly chunky bar here. And another chunky bar here. So these are all 10-ounce chunkers. Here's a 10-ounce flat bar. Let's go from the 10-ounce flat bar. Now this one right here is an interesting one, because what it is about this is that this one has a Prospector design on it. And if you look at the back, it actually looks very similar to a USVI Ingot Company bar. You got the 10-ounce Troy, 99 plus silver assay lot, and it's this one in particular actually has a serial number on the back as well. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think there's anyone actually who believes that these ones were produced by USVI Ingot Company, but it has a very similar style to them, this pressed bar. Okay, the only thing that I heard from another collector, and I'm not going to name them by name, but they're a member of our community, they told me that they believe that maybe Silvertown made these, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to name them because they weren't able to cite a source, and so I'm not sure who actually produced these flat Prospector bars, but there is a USVI Ingot Company poured bar that very much has this same sort of a obverse. Okay, so I was able to actually acquire one of those poured bars, the Prospector ones, and so I'm excited to be able to compare that to this one. Now, this is a bar that actually, the pressed one, I've been fortunate enough to be able to get a bar before, and even that was a high premium bar, honestly, but this is not something that I haven't seen before. This is something that I have actually held in my hand. I don't believe I've actually done an unboxing video for this particular bar, but it is something that I've held in my hand before, and so it's not something that's particularly new to me. The Prospector bar, on the other hand, that is poured, that is something that is new to me, and that's not something that I've ever actually seen. So one of those bars here is going to be that Prospector bar. I'm not sure which one it is, though. And we've also got some other 10-ounce bars here that I've actually never seen in my life before in the flesh. I've seen them only in pictures. And so I'm super excited to take a look at those here. Now look at this. We got an assay lot number of 900. Now let's go ahead and look at this. Here we have an Anaheim Metal Company 10-ounce chunky stacker. Now this is something you recently saw on my channel. I recently did actually unbox a bar just like this. However, I don't believe the assay lot number was 900. So that's pretty interesting, and also it's very nice that I was able to grab a duplicate, because as you know, at SBS I do love to stack duplicates here. So Anaheim Metal Company 10-ounce silver bar 900 assay lot number, and I'm super excited because I've actually got somewhere hidden in here. I've got 2 other variations of the 10-ounce Anaheim Metal Company stacker, and those are the only 2 that I've ever really seen. Maybe I've seen one of those variations before, but the other one I've never seen it available. So I'm super excited to be able to open up those as well, but I'm not sure which is which. So we've got 2 more Anaheim Metal Company bars. We got a Prospector bar, and then there's actually a couple more bars which I have seen before as well. So let's go ahead and open up another random chunky package here and see what we got. This is fun. It's almost like a mystery unboxing. I'm not sure what we're going to see. I have an idea of what they're going to be, but I don't know which is which. So let's go ahead and see what we got here on this next one. Let's crack this one open and see what it is. Wow. This is actually going to be another Anaheim Metal Company bar, and it's got a very faded top, but you can see it did say Anaheim Metal Company there. And this is an extremely interesting one because this is actually, in my opinion, going to be the probably hardest to find one. It's got a weight stamp here on the front, 10 ounces right on the front, and the back is completely blank. So look at this. Look at that and compare that. How cool is this? A completely blank back here, weight stamp on the front, Anaheim Metal Company here on the front. So that is a really, really interesting variation, and I believe this is probably the hardest one to find. This is probably going to be the most common one, but none of them really are common when it comes to Anaheim Metal Company 10-ounce bars produced by USVI Ingot Company. Now let's go ahead and see what we got here. We still have another Anaheim Metal Company variation to open up. But I also said that there's a bar that I haven't seen, that I have seen before, and that I do possess, and that's actually already available on the website, as well as the Prospector poured bar. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. And it looks like this is the one that we have available on the site, and this is going to be your C. Ryan and Associates bar, Seattle, Washington. This is the 10 troy ounce variation. This one particularly has a lot number of 510, but this one right here also comes in a 1 ounce variation, which is going to be a very similar style to this bar here. So as you note, this is a chunky bar and this is a flat bar, and so the C. Ryan and Associates flat bar is going to be a very similar style to this thin 1 ounce troy flat stacker. I like to call this the thin stacker. So C. Ryan and Associates 1 ounce thin, C. Ryan and Associates 10 ounce, just very similar to your 10 ounce stackers. In fact, it's very similar to this Anaheim Metal Company bar. Okay, remember how I was saying that these don't exactly stack on top of one another because they don't have the grooves that where they fit in, like this one actually does. Look at that. So note that this one has an inverted top, and this one has, just like your typical 10 ounce chunky stackers. Let me show you what a normal 10 ounce chunky stacker looks like, and then you can understand. So like your normal 10 ounce chunky stackers with the AM logo, they have that groove on the top as well, so it allows for actual stacking and they stay together. Whereas if you stacked on top of this C. Ryan, no, see, but this one, they fit together. So it's very interesting there to note that. So a nice C. Ryan and Associates 10 ounce stacker added to the stack. This is also a very, very difficult bar to find, and honestly, when I bought that bar, I paid up an arm and a leg for it because it's just not a cheap bar. It's just not a cheap bar. None of these are. None of these 10 ounce stackers, which are very, very scarce, are going to be cheap bars. So let's go ahead, keep making our way through here. I'm trying to actually cheat a little bit here and trying to find out the one that is going to be a duplicate. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be another C. Ryan and Associates bar. So let's open it up, and I could be wrong. It might be something else. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, wow, it is something else. This is actually the elusive Prospector bar. Now, note how we have our pressed Prospector bar here, and we've got our poured Prospector. Identical designs here, but of course, this looks very, very like almost gimmicky. Like, it just doesn't have the true USVI feel to it, and so I'm really not sure if USVI Ingot Company is the maker of this. It doesn't say USVI Ingot Company anywhere on the back, whereas this one does. This one does say USVI Ingot Company on the back. It's got a serial number, 10 ounce troy, similar style to all of your other 10 ounce stackers, and so definitely this one we can say is probably more than likely made by USVI Ingot Company. This one, however, maybe not so much. Maybe just another company created a press bar of the same style. So This is something I've never held in my hand, and boy, when I've seen these sell, I have seen them sell, and boy, did they sell quite a bit more than I paid for this bar, for sure. And they sell for an arm and a leg. Okay, they do sell for an arm and a leg. And, you know, the things like that are so rarely available, the market just goes all over the place. It's very unpredictable what to value something like that at any given point in time, because not only does that fluctuate based off of availability and demand, but there are so many factors, and it's just so illiquid because there's so few comps available for something like that. So that's just something I needed to say about bars that are very difficult to obtain like that. It's very hard to put an actual value on it, right? The eye is in the beholder. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is actually a repeat, yet another 10-ounce C. Ryan and Associates Chunky Stacker. So I'm super happy to be able to add another one here. And take a look at this. Different assay lot numbers. You got a 505 and you got a 510. So that's interesting to note that this was made across multiple assay lot numbers. Now, finally, I did say we got 3 Anaheim Metal Company bars, and so it looks like that's what we got here for our last unboxing, or our unwrapping, I guess you could call it. Let's see what this one looks like here. Now, this one has a weight stamp on the front like you saw, and this one in particular has no weight stamp on the front, just like the first one, but you know, it's got a very similar look to this one. So take a look at this. You've got your Anaheim Metal Company with, you know, your Plata, Argent, 999, Silver, all these little stamps on top of or behind the Anaheim Metal Company 999 Plus stamp. Here you got a more plain one. Anaheim Metal Company just on a plain top. And here you got on a plain top with that extruded little top and a weight stamp on the front. Okay? And this one you saw was blank. This one you saw had all the goodies. And let's take a look at this one. Here it's a little bit in between. You've got all the goodies minus the, at least on this one, the lot number. So take a look at that. No lot number on this one. I don't know if that's consistent with all of them, because this is the only example of this type of bar that I have. So who knows what these are. Perhaps this is an extremely early variation, and then maybe this was something they put out after that, and maybe this was the final refined version. Maybe it went the other way around. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But it's very interesting to note that we've got these other 2 variations out here. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. It was very exciting for me, and I hope it was very exciting for you. Have a good one. Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure to check out our social media landing page at solo.to/silverbarstacker. There you can find our direct website link, which is silverbarstacker.com, as well as our links to our other social media channels, such as this very YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our Twitter page, and we also have the link to our Whatnot page, which is where we actually run our live auctions and actually also have all of these same SBS drops that we hold. We run those same drops on our Whatnot store, and we also have live auctions happening literally all the time. So the way that you can be notified about those auctions is to be following us there on whatnot.com/user/silverbarstacker. And we hope to see you there, folks. Thank you, and have a great day.